So hello student, today we are going to discuss about the mangroves and its adaptation. So let's start. So today we are going to discuss the general idea about mangroves, then the mangroves geographic location, then the adaptation of mangroves. Okay, and then we are going to discuss about the reproductive strategies in the mangroves. Okay. So mangroves, these are the woody plants, grow along the land sea interface, bays, estuaries, lagoons, backwaters and in the rivers, reaching upstream up to the point where water still remains saline. Means it is the intermediate area where the ocean and fresh water meets with each other. So in this area, the mangroves forest community is present. So the area is mostly also called as marshy area. Okay. So here you can see the community formed by the animals, different types of animals and the mangroves. So here you can see that the many animals in the sea or water gets a shelter and food in the presence of these mangrove trees. So now let's discuss the characteristic of Mangal forest community. So firstly, here the inundation with tides can be seen, means sometimes there is the high tide and sometimes there is a low tide. In Hindi we can also call it as a jwar and bhata. Okay, so increasing the salinity towards ocean, it is also an important characteristic of Mangal forest. Then sandy clay soil can be found here. Then nitrogen and phosphorus are limiting here. Then organic nutrients are deposited here via a process called as siltation. Then geographically, these are found practically in almost all the continents except Europe, Arctic and Antarctic region. The luxuriant patches of mangroves are found on all other continents, but the best mangroves are found in Asia, especially in India and Bangladesh. The Sundarbans are the largest mangrove forest in the world in both size as well as biodiversity. The total area of mangroves in India is about 6,740 square kilometer, which is about 7% of the world's total area of mangroves. Here are some most common species of mangroves. Firstly, the red mangroves. So, the red mangrove is known as Rhizopora mangle. Then the second one, which is the most common, is black mangrove. Okay. Uh, wait. So the black mangrove, which is the Avicennia germinans. Okay. Then the white mangrove. So white mangrove is Laguncularia racemosa. It is the scientific name of the white mangroves. All are found throughout the tropics. Then the buttonwood, which is the Conocarpus erecta, is called as the mangrove associate. So see here, the first one is the red mangrove, which is the Rhizophora mangle. So here you can see that its morphology. Then the another is black mangrove, which is Avicennia germinans. Here you can see the morphology of black mangrove. Okay, so these three mangroves are morphologically different and you can identify it by its picture. and morphology. Then the white mangrove. So the white mangrove is Laguncularia racemosa. So here you can see the white mangrove. There is one particular feature found in the white mangroves which gives its name as white mangrove. So we will discuss it in the next slides. So here you can see the characteristic feature or morphological features of these three types of mangroves. Okay. Now let's discuss the adaptation of mangroves. So firstly the red mangroves. So the red mangroves can survive in the most inundated areas. Okay, prop themselves above the water level. So with the help of what these stilt roots, so they can absorb air through pores in their bark. So the pores are known as lenticels. So the red mangroves have a particular structure which is known as stilt root so that they can absorb air through pores through their bark because the mangroves are present in the water, so they can't exchange the gases with the help of roots. Hence they have these stilt roots which have tiny pores known as lenticels for the absorption of air and gases exchange. Then the next one is the black mangrove. So black mangroves live on higher ground and make many pneumatophores. So this specialized structure present here, it is the pneumatophores. So pneumatophores are the upward roots, okay, which are negatively geotropic, means they grow towards the direction of sunlight, or we can say that in the opposite direction of the earth or uh, land. Okay, then they stick up out of the soil like a straw for breathing, which are also covered in lenticels. So here also the tiny pores known as lenticels are present, but here there is a presence of still type of roots, and here you can see the type of rooting system present is pneumatophores. Then these breathing tubes typically reach heights up to the 30 centimeters and in some species over 3 meters. Then the white mangroves. So this secrete salt directly as they are present in the marshy areas in the intermediate zone between the sea and the fresh water. So there will be present of salt. So none plant can grow on this salt or in excess salt, but these mangroves possess some important feature so that they can survive in that zone or in that area. So these white mangroves possess the salt secreting glands so that the excess salt can be removed. So here they have salt glands at each leaf base. Correlating with their name, they are covered in the white salt crystals. So here see these are the pneumatophores. So as I have stated, they grow negatively geotropic and positively phototropic. So here you can see they are the pointed or straw-like structure present above the ground for the process of gaseous exchange through these lenticels. So these lenticels are the tiny pores present on these pneumatophores or the bark of a mangrove plant so that they can exchange the gases. These are the prop roots which helps the mangrove to stand in that marshy area. Now let's discuss some salt limiting processes. So firstly the red mangroves. The red mangroves exclude salt by significantly by having significantly impermeable roots. So which are highly superized, acting as an ultrafiltration mechanism to exclude the sodium salts from the rest of the plants. So their roots are highly impermeable so that there is the ultrafiltration mechanism so that they can live or survive in the excess salt condition. Means they simply don't take the excess salt with water from the soil. Then the analysis of water inside mangroves has shown 90 to 97% of salt has been excluded at the root. So in these red mangroves, the 90 to 97% of the salt has been excluded at the root level. Then salt which does accumulated in the shoot concentrated in the old leaves which the plant then sheds. So the excess amount of salt means you can say that the 3% or 5 to 3 to 5% of salt which is uptaken by plant which is uptaken by plant mangrove plant is accumulated in the shoot and concentrated in the old leaves which the plant then sheds. Then the red mangroves can also store salt in the cell vacuole. This red mangroves stores the salt in two structures, firstly in the leaves, then in the vacuoles. Then the white mangroves. These secrete salt directly. They have two salt glands at each lip base, correlating with their name as they are covered in the white salt crystals. So for limiting the water loss because of the limited fresh water available in the salty intertidal soils, mangroves limit the amount of water they lose through their leaves. They can restrict the opening of their stomata, which are the pores on the lip surface which exchange the carbon dioxide and water vapor during the photosynthesis. Then they also vary the orientation of their leaves to avoid the harsh midday sun and so reduce evaporation from the leaves. Biggest problem that mangroves face is the nutrient uptake as the soil is perpetually waterlogged. There is little free oxygen here present. Then the anaerobic bacteria liberate nitrogen gas, soluble iron, inorganic phosphates, sulfides, and methane, which makes the soil much less nutritious and contributes to the mangroves uh, as a pungent odor. So, the pneumatophores, which are also called as aerial roots, here you can see the aerial roots, allow mangroves to absorb gases directly from the atmosphere and the other nutrients such as iron from the inhospitable soil which are directly stored inside the roots, processing them as them even when the roots are submerged during the high tide. So as I have said, there is high tide and low tide conditions. The reproductive strategies. All mangroves share two common reproductive strategies. Firstly, dispersal by means of water and viviparing. So the seeds here are dispersed by the means of water and a phenomenon present here is a vivipary, means giving direct birth to the young ones. So here the vivipary means that the seeds are germinated when they are not detached from the parent plant. So they germinated when they are present or attached to the parent plant, and then when they are detached they are dispersed by means of water and transferred from the one place to the another so that to avoid competition. Then the members of Rhizophoracea family have an intriguing viviparous method for the successful reproducing themselves. So the members of Rhizophoracea family shows the mechanism of viviparous method. Then the vivipary. So here vivipary means the embryo develops continuously while attached to the parent plant. During dispersal, they grow in place attached to the parent tree for 1 to 3 years, okay, reaching length up to the 1 meter before breaking off from the parent plant and falling into the water. Then these seedlings then travel in an intriguing way. In buoyant sea water, they lie horizontally and move quickly. Okay, on reaching pressure water, they turn vertically. So, firstly, they are in such as horizontally, then they becomes vertical in fresh water and germinate. Then, once they lodge in the mud, they quickly produce additional roots and begin to grow. Reproduction and growth while still attached to plants. Sorry, here. So, here you can see this is the seedling of a mangrove plant. This is the seed of a black mangrove, and this is a white mangrove. So these are the mangrove propagules. So lastly, I can say if there are no mangroves, then the sea will have no meaning because it's like a tree with no roots. For the mangrove are the roots of the sea. As so, thank you so much for listening. Hope you have enjoyed this lecture. Thank you.